So, I've joked a lot about the subject that we're going to be talking about, and it's just a silly thing to me. And I read a study that half the men over 40 experience erectile dysfunction sometime in their life. And when I hear that, I think half the men over 40 who are willing to talk about it, right? So the number's got to be much higher than that. But all of my friends seem to be the 10, 15 guys who've never had that problem. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to admit that they've had that problem. And so I was in the supermarket and I picked up a bottle of Rock Hard. I said, I can't believe they sell this in supermarkets, and took a picture of it. And basically everybody on my Facebook, guys, I can't believe you need that stuff. No, I don't know. I never needed that stuff. And I'm like, the studies say opposite. So, but I think for somebody in your position, and I'm not blowing smoke here, I think it takes a little bit of bravery for you to come out and talk about this subject in an honest way.
Before you say that. Okay, I'm going to ask both of you guys a question. Matt and Eric, what would you prefer to go to a grocery checkout when they used to have them? Grocery checkout ones for your wife, right? Adult diapers, baby stuff, or Rock Hard or something like that. Which one would you be like, I'm not going to do it? And which one would you be like, that's okay? What's your answer?
I think I would do it. I would be comfortable with anything. I mean, I look at the people at the shop, and I've never seen them like laugh or crack a smile when, I've bought tampons for my wife, and I just kind of expect a smile or something, but I don't get any reaction. So I think at this point I'd be comfortable with anything.
What about you, honey?
Anything I buy will be talked about.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So the only thing I would not buy, I would have her buy for me, is the ED medication.
Wow.
That myself.
Same
No, I have no problems.
Yeah.
No. But here's the thing, though, and here's why I'm here, because I'm not a paid spokesman. I'm not a partner in this enterprise. I'm nothing. I'm a friend of the inventor of this thing. That's all. And he comes to me and he goes, Eric, I got the cure for ED. I said, congratulations. He goes, you to talk about it because you're famous. I said, well, I don't have ED, dude. My wife has He goes, but, and then he explained it to me. And you know what? ED is caused by plaque. We all have plaque in our bloodstream, in our blood system. That's what happens to our hearts. We have plaque and build up. We have heart issues from it. Well, the same thing, because a healthy heart and a healthy appendage apparently have a lot in common with blood flow. And when you clear the flow, you have no issues. And as you get older, you build up plaque. Your heart has trouble, so does your appendage. But this thing called the rocket is the cure for that, and it breaks up the plaque with sound waves. And this isn't new. This has been in like clinics for like 50 years, but it was expensive, and you had to go to the clinic, and you had to deal with a clinician, and you had to go through the whole thing and pay thousands of dollars. It was an issue, and only rich guys could do it. Okay, this is an invention by my buddy that you go up and down the shaft and it breaks up the plaque. You do it 15, 20 minutes twice a week and you never have an issue. It's maintenance, dude, to the point where I'm so proud of I'm so proud of my love life that I don't have any issues, but I started using it because I decided, what do I have to lose? And also, my friend gave me mine for free. So there you go.
This would be a good time to bring Dustin in, I think. Let's welcome him in. Dustin, welcome to the MindDog TV podcast.
Hey, guys. Hey, Liza and Eric. How are you?
Great.
So can you give us a little more insight onto the medical part of this that Eric was just talking about?
Yes, of course. Well, first I should say thank you very much for having myself on and Eric and Eliza. It's a pleasure. We always love doing these things, and it's entertainment for us in this time and of our lives. It gives us something to do. But yeah, so just as a disclaimer, I have no medical background, but I've been involved with what's known as low intensity acoustic wave therapy for years and years and years. And I own, my wife and I own the largest clinic in the US that uses sound waves to treat guys with erectile dysfunction, right? So I'm what you would consider, I guess, an expert in this field. In fact, I have doctors, MDs, that call me from all over the world wanting to come and train in my facility, and they bring their staffs here, and we do trainings for these guys to go back home and treat their patients with this incredible technology. And like like Eric was saying, this isn't anything new. A lot of your audience is gonna be like, "What is this? I've never heard of it." And what it's clinically known is low intensity shockwave therapy, which sounds kind of scary, right? Yes, there's the rocket right there. Check it out.
Cute.
So, we joke around here, and we say, if Elon Musk designed the rocket, this is what it would look like. So, I mean, he is a rocket expert.
Back
Right?
to the very beginning, we have to joke around. It's such a serious issue that if you don't joke around, it becomes overwhelming. Oh my God, my thing doesn't work. Oh my God.
Right.
He's right. Yeah, we do keep it lighthearted. We do keep it lighthearted here. Yeah, we do keep it lighthearted here. And I'll talk about the technology just a little bit. Like Eric mentioned, it's been around for a very long time. In fact, it's very common in Europe. And there's one of these medical grade devices, which are very expensive, in almost every doctor's office in Europe, and they treat their patients with this every single day. So it is newer to the US. It's just started to get popular in probably the last 3 to 4 years. My clinic was one of the first 5 or 10 clinics in the US to start doing this. And now there's hundreds of them all over the country. But, the real challenge was, as Eric had mentioned, it's very expensive, right? And just for a series of 6 treatments, it's $3,000.
Wow.
No, $3,000 is a lot of money, and that's a lot of money to me. It's a lot of money to most people. And like Eric mentioned, it's been really reserved for the 1%, the rich or the elite up till this point. So that's how the idea of the rocket was born. The concept was 2.5 years ago. I met this incredible inventor and intellectual property guy who's Eric's friend. His name's John Hoffman, and the guy's a genius. And I said to him one day, I said, listen, if somebody could develop a home use device that does the exact same thing that these expensive clinical devices do, make it affordable and make it accessible to virtually every guy on the planet, we could solve this major problem, right? Because 99% of the guys that call my clinic, they can't afford it, or they don't live close enough to come here 6 to 12 times. Okay. Right. So that's how the idea of the rocket was born. But going back into the technology is it's very simple. If you can just imagine what it does is it's a device that gets emitted right topically on the shaft that emits a sound wave strong enough to penetrate the tissue, and it breaks up the microplaque in the blood vessels of the penis, and that's what causes erectile dysfunction. Like Eric said, it's microplaque buildup, just like we have it all over our bodies, right? It's the same plaque on your teeth. This is like going to the dentist, but you get to do it yourself on your teeth. Okay?
I hope it's a little less painful in the dentist.
Oh no, it's actually if you said you got to use a rocket or go to the dentist, I'll use the rocket right now.
That's good.
Yeah,
it does seem. I mean, just looking at it, and again, I'm going to show it here.
Yeah.
It seems like a parody of, when you first look at it, you're like, oh no, it doesn't look like you're going to be applying it to, it looks like you're kind of plugging into it somehow, like some kind of weird sex toy.
Yeah, we get that a lot. So, but I mean, basically what it is the technology breaks up the microplaque and it regrows, it stimulates the body to produce new blood vessels, and it wakes up those old blood vessels, right? So if I could just put it in layman's terms, as we age, our blood vessels start to weaken all over our body, and the blood vessels in the penis are some of the smallest in the human body, second to the ones behind the eyes. That's why our eyesight starts to go too, right? Lack of blood flow. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about restoring a guy's erections, is restoring blood flow without the use of drugs, right? All the drugs do, the little blue pill, is dilate the blood vessels so the blood can flow in. right? And that's just a Band-Aid. It's temporary, right? So when the medication leaves the body, you're left with a clogged up blood vessel or a collapsed blood vessel. So the rocket solves that problem.
Well, full disclosure here, Eric may not be making any money on this, but I just signed up for the affiliate program this morning, so I'm going to be putting my links under the podcast. I actually am going to try this out. It's not like I have constant problems, but I have experienced some problems with it, and sure, I want to try it out. And so I'm going to be the guinea pig for my audience. So if you check back in 3 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever, I'll report my progress on it. But as a marketer, I'm wondering if there's any objection to my putting my affiliate stuff. Put some spunk in your junk.
Put some spunk in your junk. There's nothing wrong with that. So here's the reality is this wasn't developed just for guys that have erectile dysfunction. The reality is if you're not 18 anymore, you are not 18 anymore, right? And it's like the guy upstairs is slowly dialing down the dimmer switch on us. Okay, so. Listen, I'm 45 years old, and I can tell you right now, I don't perform like I did when I was 18. Nobody does. But this can literally reverse the clock and slow father time down and improve things in the bedroom. Even if you don't have, ED or aren't experiencing those symptoms, we have a lot of customers already that are in their 20s and 30s because this has been clinically proven to just raise the bar. If you're a 9 and you want to be a 10, this can take you to a 10. There's no pills. There's no pain. There's no injections. It's an all-natural type of therapy. It's been around for 2 decades, 3 decades. There's no downtime. There's no side effects. The treatments take anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. You do it once to twice a week for 3 to 6 weeks, and then as needed afterwards.
Is there a recommended program or regiment that goes with this? I know, as I say, when you have somebody famous like Eric, some things about him. And what I know about him from interviews and things is that he's addicted to gym, being in the gym now. Is that part of this? Is there a program of like diet and exercise that goes with this that's recommended? Or because I know that exercise plays a big part in
of course it does. Listen, lifestyle is important, for all health things in your life, right? So, without a shadow of a doubt, if you live an unhealthy lifestyle, ED's coming for you sooner than it is the rest of us. Okay, so diet, exercise, and eating right, all these things play a very big factor. And absolutely, we have those resources available in your customer account when you purchase the account. We have a lot of information in there that can actually help accelerate the results that you get with the Rocket 100% from diet, exercise programs. We have a Facebook support group called Rocket Nation. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guys in there every day just exchanging ideas and giving each other information and supporting each other. And hey, try this. I tried that. Have you tried this new, supplement? So it's a very supportive community that we are promoting.
Eric,
we're trying to take shame out of it because there should be no shame in this, and it's such a guy's problem that no, I don't have that issue. No, but it's okay.
That's exactly why I've joked about it so much. Is because the idea that it's something to be ashamed of when the truth is, and I hate to keep saying this, but the statistics are just a small part of it. The truth is, I would say 90% of men, if you're over 40. Even over 30, have probably experienced it at some point in your life. And the older you get, the more common it gets. It's not like it happens every time. It doesn't have to be chronic. If it's chronic, and it's continued like constant, that's another problem. But part of it is everybody's experienced it at one point, and we all go psychological shit over it, right?
You know what?
Right.
When we did KTLA, we did a network television show about it. So just like it was like 2 seconds of talking, we couldn't say very much. As soon as they cut and went to commercial, the entire crew, which was almost all male, there were definitely some women there, and I mean, we're talking about gay, straight, all kinds of guys, all kinds of ages. They were like standing there with their mouths open, just wanting more information. The host said they'd never seen their crew like that. They're like, where do we go to get this thing? Oh my God. They were completely obsessed instantly. which just shows you how widespread it is. And there's so many types. I mean, and the anxiety about it can bring it on. That's the thing. That's what's so unfortunate. I mean, it's that whole performance concept. So this kind of, it gives you so much confidence to know there's something you can do and people you can talk to about it. I think it's great that Matt brings that up all the time on the show in a funny way and not in a way. And, you know, but it's really funny to see guys' reaction because they're just like, they would sign up right there. You could have been there.
And you know, it's very difficult to meet somebody for the first time and think you know them. But looking at you two, it would seem to me that you have a very loving, trusting, and good relationship. My question is how women might approach their husband or boyfriend or whatever and say, you know what, this is something maybe you should look into, and with the, you know, without threatening that male sensitivity about what are you saying? You know, you think I can't get, you know.
Totally. Well, here's the thing with, okay, as a woman, it's like, you know, do you get somebody a bottle of mouthwash as a gift? You know, it's like, this is kind of a cool hint, you know, but that's been covered like on both Friends and Sex and the City. There've been like whole episodes, whole arcs where the women are talking about how do I bring this up to my guy? And I think that, you know, you always, it's difficult because you don't want to make it worse. You don't want him to feel unloved or self-conscious. Yeah. But, you know, but it can affect us. So the thing that you'd want to do is, of course, humor, but also a real positive spin. Just basically say, I love this. I love that. I love this. After the procreation years, nature kind of takes away some of that other thing, right? And, you know, there is a couple of things we can try. By the way, this is everybody. And, you know, it's just part of your communication.
And Eric Roberts has one.
Yeah, exactly. Or, you know, there's Eric.
Right.
He's a prototype, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm thinking about it, and you're talking about the price of pills and other treatments like that. And the thing is with the pills, that's an ongoing forever commitment you have to make to them, and they have dangerous side effects. Does this device have any kind of dangerous side effect or possible?
Well, let's talk. Okay, great question. Let's talk about the pills for a second. Like you said, it's an ongoing commitment. You'll always have to take them. And guess what? Eventually, because I run this clinic and we see 10 to 20 guys every single day with these issues, eventually we all know, well, first of all, they're a Band-Aid, right? It doesn't address the root cause of the issue. Second of all, they eventually stop working, not to mention the dangerous side effects, right? So that's why sound wave or acoustic wave therapy is so amazing and so intriguing, because there are, listen, again, I didn't invent this technology. We just made it affordable and accessible. So there's dozens and dozens and dozens of clinical studies done by big urology groups all over the planet over the last 20 years that can be found on the website through that link right there. You can go read them for yourself. But literally no side effects and no downtime, because a lot of guys are like, well, if I do this, do I have to stop having sex? Absolutely not. In fact, the more sex you have, the better, because you're increasing the blood flow to the penis.
Wow. So that's the way you get healthy. I'm down for it. I just hope my wife is going to sign up to my new. Actually, she's more interested in it than I am these days. But
well, speaking of staying healthy, hold on real quick. The rocket was just covered on TMZ a couple of weeks ago, and they had brought up a clip of Dr. Oz saying that, listen, if you're quarantined, one of the best things you can be doing to health-wise is to be having sex with your partner.
Wow. Yeah. That's good to know. I'm going to get a T-shirt that says that and wear it everywhere I go. So, you know, the other part of, I just want to bring this up while it's still fresh in my mind about pills, is I know they can cost a lot, and a lot of guys end up going to overseas pharmacies to buy them online, and that stuff can be dangerous because you never know what you're getting, and it hasn't been, you know, under any kind of regulations or examined. So, and I think the best thing to do is to try to get off those pills if you're on them. I mean, that's just my opinion. There are other ways, but so the exercise stuff, you know, and you're talking about blood flow. Are there any specific programs that go with this, or?
Well, yes and no. I mean, what we don't want to do is, stick somebody on a program that's, 350 pounds and not ready for it, right? So we always have a disclaimer, check with your, primary care provider, make sure you're healthy enough for exercise. But we have programs in there that are for, all stages of guys, no matter what your age is or your fitness level, right? But everything starts with diet first. That's the most important thing. You can exercise 8 hours a day. I mean, Eric knows this. It's mostly diet, right? And watching you guys know that you shouldn't be eating, cheeseburgers every day and a bag of chips and drinking, a 2 liter of Coke. You know better, right? You know better.
I do. And my wife is a nurse, and she always says you eat like a 12-year-old, and I get that constantly. But so with the exercise though comes increased testosterone, right? And so does that have when you're seeing people using this device, does number one, does the testosterone increase in a male, and does that have a psychological effect? I mentioned desire. I think as you get older, and I know I have friends who tell me they have no sex drive at all. I'm not in that category. I'm a pretty horny guy, but the whole idea of behind desire and all that stuff has to increase with testosterone increase, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Well, the sound wave, so the rocket isn't going to increase your testosterone, right? Because what we're doing is clearing the plaque out and growing new blood vessels to increase the blood flow. But what I will say about your testosterone is that 100%, we all know that if you're on a regular exercise routine and you're eating healthy, that is going to increase your testosterone, right? What can decrease your testosterone is living a sedentary lifestyle, eating shitty foods, right? Not getting any exercise, that type of thing will absolutely decrease your testosterone. So, smoking, excessive alcohol, things like that will always decrease your testosterone as well. And yes, testosterone has everything to do with your libido.
Yeah, we need to use this quarantine time for self-help.
Right.
Exactly.
I agree. And I was just going to touch on you because I know you're a fitness guy. How is this quarantine stuff affecting your gym habits and all that kind of stuff, your exercise habits?
Well, you can't go to a gym,
right?
And it's totally in my way, and it's very irritating. So I get up in the morning, I have my tea, and I do lots of sit-ups on my bedroom floor, and then I get there and walk. And when I come back, I do my arms, my chest with the push-ups and dips.
Wow,
that's what you can do. I mean, kind of.
Well, and, I really want to thank you for kind of being brave enough to talk about this, in a serious way and keeping it light. But I think it's important for people to hear the message that you're bringing about this, and I just can't stress enough that if I were famous, I would think twice about it. And I know you've done this pretty much as a gesture of goodwill towards your friend who got involved in it and who developed it rather. But I think it's very brave of you, and I want to say thank you for that.
Well, I love hearing that, and thank you so much. That was so kind of you. But my friend honestly discovered a cure for ED. So I just. I want all guys to have what I have, and I have a great life. I have a great wife. I have it made, and I want to share it. That's it.
You do have a great life. I want to end this part of the discussion right now. So, Dustin, I'm going to let you go, but thank you for coming on and sharing that knowledge with us.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.